All right, so welcome. Who's excited? Who's knackered? Who's absolutely tired? Who's working tomorrow? All right, so welcome to our participants and also to those joining us just for this evening for our showcase for our Startup Weekend number 20 All-Stars edition. Really excited to welcome you all here tonight and hear the amazing progress that you've made over the last 54 hours. So for those, just as a reminder, that are new to Startup Weekend, we're going to have a clicker. Come on. There we go. So for those that are new to Startup Weekend who are just joining us tonight, a reminder of the journey that our startups have been on since Friday. So on Friday, we all came together. We had 27 innovators pitch their ideas. And it was really interesting to hear a diversity of ideas across all different sectors, all different range of ideas. And we had 10 teams form off the back of those. And thankfully, we actually have all 10 teams still standing, which is quite rare for a Startup Weekend. Normally, at least one team implodes or kind of leaves. Or sometimes they split off and you end up with more teams. And then Saturday, you spent the day thinking about validation. We had a customer masterclass. You spent the day talking to customers, really getting out there and trying to understand, is this a real problem worth solving? And how do I adapt and pivot my idea into something that might be, something that could become a sustainable business? And then on Sunday, today, we did a pitching masterclass. You've been working on your prototypes. And then for the last couple of hours, you've been working on your pitches. So what we're going to see tonight is a culmination of a very short, compressed amount of effort. This is a pitch showcase, but it's not a standard kind of demo night. What you're going to be hearing is a lot more about the narrative and the journey that these teams have been going on. And remember, they've only had an hour or two maybe to do their pitch and also practice. So just keep that in mind as you're watching. These are not going to be perfectly polished pitches. It's all about the fun, the community, and the skills building we've gone through over the last couple of days together. So this is us. Friday night, I think, Startup Weekend. You can do nice edit, yeah, Dali again. Dali strikes again. That's the stairs out the front with a little bit of Photoshop and Dali editing. You can do some Where's Wally, but I'd just like to acknowledge, all of the energy and enthusiasm that you brought into the room. I think that image perfectly encapsulates the amount of energy. We will post that picture for you to share on LinkedIn. Plus, we've obviously got Jürgen, who's doing some filming tonight, and we'll also have some photos published to the Spacecubed website. Firstly, thank you for your energy and enthusiasm. It's a really big ask to give up, almost 3 days of your life. And I really feel like you kind of brought your own. I've seen all the teams having a bit of fun, also kind of really leaning into the experience, which was the biggest thing we asked of you at the start of the weekend. So just for those that are new, just a couple of logistics. So if there is an evacuation, we can follow the Spacecubed team members. If you need Wi-Fi, there is guest Wi-Fi as well. We're going to probably be running for about an hour. So the pitches are going to have 3 minutes each with about 2 minutes of questions from the judges. And then we'll be going into a room, deliberating, and then talking through who the winners might be. So the pitches will probably go for about 50 to 60 minutes if all goes smoothly. And then we'll be able to have a couple more drinks, some more nibbles. And if someone asks if there's an after party, there's no formal after party, but you feel free to arrange one. If you can have a late start tomorrow, that's more than okay. Cool. One day the clicker's going to work for me. There you go. Mentors, can you stand up for me, please? So mentors, everyone you've interacted with this weekend has been a volunteer. So really appreciate you giving up your time. So a huge round of applause to our mentors this weekend. And it really is the all-stars. We've got Jazz, we've got Marcus, we've got people that have been running these things and been part of this program for years. And you'll hear soon about our judging panel, who are also some of our all-stars. So thank you so much, mentors. We really, really appreciate it. I'm sure the teams have got a huge amount of value from you over the weekend. And the good thing about this is that you can connect with them afterwards. This really should be the start of a journey into the ecosystem. And so if you've found someone particularly valuable, feel free to reach out and add them on LinkedIn. So we do have, as an All-Stars edition, our very esteemed judging panel. So we have Joe Hawkins from Startup WA and UWA. We have Feli Coutier from Spacecubed. We have Po Chen from ClickSend. And Charlie, the WA startup guy, Guttingham, from Jetsy, who needs no introduction. So please welcome our judges. Thank you. How come they got a woo, the mentors didn't? You're trying to butter them up or something, potentially. All right, and so in terms of our prizes now, just to emphasise, this is a competition in the sense that we're pitching tonight, but it's not about the winner. So, you know, we do have some prizes to give out, but what I hope you're taking away from this experience is much more the skills building, the capability, the community, and hopefully an interest into innovation entrepreneurship. So even if you don't take your ideas forward, we really hope that you become part of this ecosystem, and I'll talk a bit at the end of opportunities to kind of get involved. So first place is going to be an interest into the +8 City of Perth Sprint Pre-Accelerator program, which is a 6-week program valued at $3,500 per participant. It's a really great opportunity if you want to continue working on your idea or potentially an adaptation of your idea to go through a concrete process. And then of course we've got some bar vouchers and a bunch of other stuff, including some free co-working here at RIF for the other teams. So really looking forward to seeing your pictures in a moment. Oh, where did my sponsor slide go? Thank you. There we go. So I would really like to acknowledge the massive support of our sponsors. So as mentioned, all of our people you've been interacting with through the event have been volunteers giving up their time for the weekend. But thanks to our sponsors, we can make this a really amazing event with things like t-shirts, the buttons, the food, the drinks, all that sort of stuff. So thank you so much to City of Perth, to Spacecubed, and then of course to ClickSend as well. So please give our sponsors a round of applause. All right, are we ready? That's enough of me talking. All right. So in no particular order, other than the order we've been going through the whole weekend, I'll quickly talk about judging criteria as well. So we've got 3 things we're looking for. We're looking for validation, so evidence that you've talked to customers. We're looking at execution, so did you actually manage to build something that can get it in the hands of your customers? And then we're looking at business models. So have you thought about competitors, pricing? Have you actually explored what this thing would look like as a viable business idea? So that's what the judges are going to be looking for, and as mentioned, we'll go away at the end of this, have a bit of a chat and come back and award the winners. All right, so it's always super tough to go first. SkillShed, come on up. I can click for you if it doesn't work.
Yeah, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, we've got time with Juliet already.
Hello. Which one is it? Just the middle one?
It's the middle one, yeah. I don't know what's
Hey,
going on with
no, there we go. No, that's gone forward to...
We tested this rigorously.
There we go. Okay, take a moment to think about the last time you spent time with a child or a parent. Okay, that's long enough because I've only got 3 minutes. Okay, so it's pretty hard, and that's where our problem space is. How do you spend time with your kids or your parents? That's where SkillShed shines. Oops. So, go back. Sorry, mate, I'm flicking, you do it.
You just tell me when to go.
That one, yeah. Okay, so when I grew up, I was lucky enough to grow up on a farm, and I spent a lot of time at the shed with my dad and my pop. And up there we built things and we pulled things apart and put them back together. Learned lots of stuff. Over the last couple of years I've been doing that with my son. We've been buying boats and flipping them. The inspiration for SkillShed was to be able to give this opportunity to other parents and other kids. Yep, thanks. So at SkillShed we give a space, a physical space to be able to work on projects and learn life skills. Problem is getting teenagers to do this stuff might be difficult, so we've got to give them a motivation. As an example, it might be they're coming up to get their license. Let's get them to door up a car. Instead of just learning to change a tyre, now we're changing bearings and we're fixing motors and we're doing those kind of things. And for the parent, it's about blocking time out of your calendar, right? So with SkillShed, we're doing a subscription basis. So if you can block that time out, you make the time. We make time for holidays. Let's make time to spend really special time with our kids. Thanks, mate. So over the weekend, we spoke to about 20 parents and kids, and one of the things that come up a lot again and again was time. Oh, I did not talk about that. Anyway, one of the things that was talked about was time. So the time was the kids were saying that their parents didn't have time to spend with them. The kids and the parents were saying that if they thought they'd get this time with the kids, then they would make it happen. We also had some validation from experts. I spoke to Jeremy Chetty at Student Edge, and also he's involved with the Fathering Project, and Becca over at Idea Academy, and they both said that this was definitely a problem that they could see and needed to be fixed. So the business model is a subscription. We're looking at a subscription-based model. It'll be monthly. Part of that is to make sure that people come and do it on a monthly basis, come in monthly or weekly or whatever that looks like to work on this project. There's a few other things out there that do that. We could I'd probably charge from $50 to $100 for that. But also these projects, let's buy a project, learn how to buy a project and actually build it through to finish so that we can make some profit out of it. That goes back into the shed to actually go further. It'll be a social enterprise and also a not-for-profit, so we'll be looking at those opportunities as well. Thanks. At the start of, can you get that to work for me? At the start of the thing I talked about an example of a car, but this is my son's example. So he spends hours and hours in the shed with us fixing boats and stuff, but just because he loves spending time on a boat, having fun with his mates. So that's his motivation. And what did I ask? Just go past, it didn't work. It was a GIF and everything. So we're looking for kids and parents to help us make memories, and we're also looking to make SkillShed a household name. Thank you.
We should have given you extra. All right. Technical glitches aside, we probably should have given you an extra 10 seconds, Todd.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
We got there.
So we're going to do questions from the judges. So we've got about 2 minutes for questions.
Hey Todd, well done. It's over, you can relax, chill. What did you build? That sounds great, love the idea. What did you actually make? What's the product?
The idea is to get whoever the group is, it's a group of kids and parents, you find a project that you can build. So it could be, in my example, so I built a Shelby Cobra with my dad in the shed on the farm, but my boy has bought a boat and we've added things to it, built it out and flipped it, bought a bigger boat.
Over this weekend, what did you build?
Oh, what did I build over this weekend?
Your team.
Yeah. So it wasn't just the idea, it was we've spoken to people about finding locations. We've spoken to people about whether this is the right, like a qualifying whether it's going to work. There is some tech, I think, that goes behind this, but we haven't built that. But it's all about validation, and is there a problem? Can we find, what we wanted to get to at the end of Sunday is, can we find a location or a space to do this? Is it actually a problem that we're trying to solve? So that's where we're going to at the end of it.
G'day. Yeah, I think there's something really a juicy insight here. There are probably a couple of them actually, but I'm interested in nailing down your market entry strategy. So, is there a hero project or a specific target audience that you think has this unmet need?
So, talking from experience, I found that I think it's a bottom-up, top-down thing, right? So the parents are going to have the money, but the kids are going to be motivated to do it. And I found that around what we did with Josie and his boat, my son, his boat, is he's built this little community of mates, and they've all got, a couple of them got boats now. They've like saved money and done that. So the entry is word of mouth, I think. It's probably going to be quite organic, like a community would be. And I think that's a healthy way for it to grow. So yeah, I think it needs to be driven by the kids, because if the kids aren't engaged, then you're not going to get the parents to do that. So.
Cool. Nice work. Big round of applause for Todd. All right, we've got GNAN. Who's up? Come on, Nana. Nanny. I don't know what's going on. We'll try this again.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not speaking.
Oh, okay. It's a dramatic pause for the entry. We've got props. All right, you're going to need to have a hand.
Should be all right. Should be all right.
All right. You're eating up your 3 minutes here.
No.
No, but you need to...
The battery didn't charge. So
who's speaking? We do need to get cracking, sorry.
I'm speaking. Okay. Sorry, just one moment. Thank you. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Okay. We are GNAN, the nanny for your granny. We are GNAN, the nanny for your granny. Now, this is my mum. I took this photo today. Before, she's 85, she lives on her own, she's forgetting stuff, okay? She's starting to show some concerning behaviours, and, you know, we all get to this point at some point in our life. Doesn't matter how old you are, dementia or ageing definitely affects us all, possibly even dementia. Clearly, this is a growing problem, and therefore it's a growing market. And the pain points, so there's the 65-year-old, people over the age of 65, will set to double in the next 10 years. There's a huge investment from governments and all around in different industries. Currently, the problem is there's 22,000, just in Australia, 22,000 vacant carer positions, unable to be filled. Okay. And we validated this stuff from end to end, from our end users to concerned family members to industry experts. Today, we're introducing 3 world-class products: an intelligent companion for daily assistance and emotional support, a revolutionary health monitoring and early warning system, and an advanced visibility and communication device for caring families. Okay, this is the bit where it's supposed to sort of follow me out when I say, hey GNAN, come out and introduce yourself. GNAN, select carer mode. No, select... hang on.
Switching to carer mode now. How can I assist you today?
Okay, so Flora, I'm not sure where our audio went. Flora is our elderly person who wants to interact with our GNAN.
30 seconds.
Got it? Good morning, GNAN. Laura is usually the one who interacts with your Gmail. How can I assist with that today?
Good morning, GNAN. What's the weather like?
Sure, I can help with that. Is there something specific you need help with regarding Gmail today?
Oh my God.
I would like to know what the weather is today.
I don't have the capability to do that, so you can visit chatgpt.com for more information if you need. Is there anything else I can assist you with right now?
Oh my God.
All
We
right.
left it sitting for too long. We did actually get this.
Got questions? Can use question time.
Well, you didn't have time to discuss business model. Can you give us just a quick overview of what you were thinking?
The business model?
Yeah.
Okay, there are a bunch of competitors in the space currently. The products are not really very widespread in Australia at this point. They range in price from anywhere from $15,000 to, down to, I think the cheapest one's about $1,800. Our business model would be to purchase the hardware, which we can manufacture quite cheaply. It's basically a device, smart device, coupled with a robotic base. We can manufacture that for a few $100s, and obviously economies of scale and stuff like that. So our business model would be the hardware device cost plus potentially a subscription model like the other competitive devices in the market at the moment. But no one's actually...
Like you have a good plan for the business.
Oh, classic. Thank you, demo dogs. That's amazing. Very good.
Nice work, GNAN. What do they say? Don't work with people. Pets, kids, or AI? Is that the saying? All right. So they did have more slides. All right, so we're going to keep it going. Number 3, we got Fun Fin. Round of applause for Ritesh.
Thank you.
Just press the buttons. Hello everyone, my name is Hitesh. I'm part of FunFin. My team chose me to speak today because I've never done this before. And I've got an accent, so sorry Marcus. And my team is Sam, Ronan, Matt, and Echo. On Friday, we came in with a lot of energy. We were very excited to present something that we all thought about before coming here, and to learn something. Our first idea was through Sam. It was Pinterest to purchase. The idea was to maybe help someone take a photo of a table, a chair, or a clothing item, and put it on an app that can guide you where you can buy that product from. But we failed, miserably. We found that the idea already existed. Thanks, Google. So idea number 2 was born. And we called it financial microlearning for retirement, because we felt that people needed to learn about retirement. But we failed again. We found that 30 out of 50 people didn't care about retirement or already had a solution that could help them. So finally, back to the drawing board, we found another idea called financial microlearning for children. So we went out on the streets to validate our idea, and it was a success. We found from our validations that children like to learn through gaming and through social media. And when that's not available, they have parents and grandparents to teach them. But we ran out of time. And we had to pitch. But we did learn something. Parents might not have the time to teach themselves about financial literacy, but they do have time to teach their children about financial literacy. So we discovered there's an idea, either through an app or bite-sized videos that can be taught, that can be used to teach children and form a habit from a young age how to save money, how to spend wisely, and how to invest wisely for their retirement. It could be as early as 5 years old, or maybe somewhere in their 20s. But again, we ran out of time. But why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you we failed? Maybe this is something you can take away to help your children, or maybe come and help us build something in the future, maybe start tomorrow. We are the 7th team we found in this space, in Spacecubed, to have failed in this space. So clearly there is a problem. There is a problem.
That was time. Good job, Hitesh.
I love that. That was really good. I think you're right. The idea about financial education being a habitual type of thinking, again, really juicy nuggets of insight, and that's what you build a good business on. It's that kind of seeing things that nobody's seen before. And the idea that parents can't make the time for themselves, but they can make the time for their kids, that landed. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. Anyway, so well done, and best of luck. But I love the creative thinking and just trying, that self-reflection. Thank you for bringing that into this.
All right, let's keep it going for Club Club. Ooh, nice.
We have a couple actors that are going to do like a 10-second little skit.
Right.
Not to frighten people, there will be like a small amount of ambient music coming from that area. All right, hit it, Stephen.
So sick. It is, but there's no one in here.
Freeze. Stop the music. This scenario happens every night at every venue in Perth. Thanks, fellas. Can I have a clicker, or who's doing the slides? Yeah, cheers, Nate. So we found that nightclubs struggle with two things. Our initial assumption was that nightclubs are struggling with getting patrons to their venue in general. When we did some interviews, we found specifically there's two problems. Nightclubs are struggling to get new patrons into their venue, and they're struggling to get them in earlier. Next slide. How do we know this? We interviewed 4 nightclub owners. They all said the exact same thing. We need to reach more new patrons and get them in earlier. Our solution is Club. It's a platform for nightclubs and other night venues to post their discounts like free drinks, free entry on one platform for all users to access. As for the ClickSend integration, the users will be able to receive a SMS notification when their favourite nightclub posts a discount that they'll like. Slide. How do we know that young people are going to like this? That's right, 120 young people we talked to, 120 customer interviews, 110 of them said they would use it every single time they go out. There's a lot of customer retention. 100 would go out earlier because of these discounts we're providing through the app that addresses the nightclub's problems. 100 would go out more often, so when they wouldn't have gone out at all. My favourite one is 80 of them said that they would go to a club that was listing a discount. So we can control where people are going to go based on the discounts we're posting on the app. Our business model is B2B. It's super important that our users aren't paying anything to use the app. So we want to make it super accessible. We will be charging clubs to post their discounts. Like if they have a happy hour 9 to 11, they'll be able to post it. It'll be on a campaign basis. So they can do the campaigns. They can also run exclusive drink tokens, which we'll charge per head. And they can do priority listing as well. Since we're making a directory, clubs can pay to have their venue ranked higher. Slide. Yeah, so we want to start with Perth nightclubs first, and we did look, and there's a market to expand further a bit later. Yeah, I know that the judges especially might have seen an idea like this before, but I think we're uniquely positioned and timed to really execute this idea. A lot of our team members have had experience running social events, and we've worked with nightclubs before. Slide. 110 people said that they would use this app. So we have 110 users in about 24 hours of asking. Slide. The best part is we have 4 letters of intent for nightclubs. Yeah, a round of applause. We talked to 4 nightclubs in 24 hours. They agreed to, follow the app. Slide. We have socials as well. You can follow it. Thank you. I'll hold this.
Very good. Excellent acting, guys. Fantastic. Very good command of the microphone. Well done. Nice and strong voice. Again, I asked the question that I asked the very first one. What did you build during the week?
I'm so glad you asked, Charlie. We have 2 software devs that were really good, and they built a fully functioning demo. We have a landing page that is links to a waitlist for people to access this demo. They are working on it as we speak. They're not here today. So we have a demo that's up and running. We weren't able to show it today because of time constraints, but it is there. We just couldn't quite get it on the slides because we need to hand it in by 4. Yeah.
Awesome. Big round of applause. Nice work, Brandon. All right, we got code switch. Let's go. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So it's just start right away?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right. G'day, I'm Ali from Code Switch. Millions of plumbers, landscapers, they need a website, and 99% of them will go to a website builder like Wix or WordPress, and 1% of them will have tried that and been like, that was a pretty bad experience. And what they do is they go find a professional website developer, and they don't want a website builder. And that is our target market, not the 99% of business owners that want Wix or whatever. It is the 1% that is willing to pay thousands of dollars to a professional website developer, and our target market is developers. So I'm Ali, an electrical engineer that started a website development agency about 3 months ago. I've served about 5 clients, and I typically charge about $5,000 for a website. Sales costs time, but so does development. And it typically takes, I started this through a community of website developers. That's how I found out how to make these websites, and most importantly, how to sell them. And this is a very recent community, 2 years old, that was built organically without much marketing. So the problem is it takes me 10 hours to build a website, and what our tool does is it brings it down to 1 hour with Code Switch. So for validation, I talked to 3 people in this developer community, and I said, how long does it take you to do this? And it was like 8 to 10 hours. I talked to them about the problem. They're like, yeah, this is a huge problem, blah, 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 blah. And so I asked, okay. So I went through our tool, and I was like, so how much do you think you'd pay for our tool? And so what we found was Ben said he was like, damn, your tool would like really automate a lot of this process. I'd pay $80 a month. Stacey would pay $500 a month because it is such a, like, that is 90% of the dev time gone. And Nick said he'd pay $120 a month. And with our final one, I said, how would you like to be an early adopter of our tool? Are you willing to pay a $100 deposit? And he haggled it down to $50. Yeah. Next slide. So this is CodeSwitch.pro, is a website built using our methodology of how this developer community makes websites. So what's next? We spent a significant time making the website tool that, I don't want to go into technical specifics, but we said to Nick, we'll get it to you in a month. So that's the MVP that does the basic bare bones part of it. Next of it is we want to grow this developer community. So it's been built organically without much marketing or any kind of socials, just through Reddit and word of mouth. So we want to grow that and grow our target audience. And the last thing is a long-term vision of we want to involve the client in it, because we found developers don't like the back and forth of the assets and the copy. So we want to have a way of involving them in the process, getting them 80% of the way, and
All right, judges. Yeah.
I guess is like, how is your solution different from the like Squarespace and like the one you mentioned at the beginning?
yeah, you're better at answering.
So yeah, like all those Wixes and Squarespace and all that, they're great for people who want to get a quick website up. But the idea is that some people hate those things, so they want a professional web developer. And some of the professional web developers use those platforms as well, but some people just actually want to write code. And so there is this niche community of 3,500 people who want to write code in this particular way. And so for people like that, our tool will help them. So it's a very niche within a niche that we're targeting as our initial target. But it is people that are keen to have help with the type of way they develop websites.
Nice work.
Just a comment. I was at the very first startup weekend in September 2012. Were you there, Saxon? Probably were. Yes, one. And the gold standard is to have revenue over the weekend, and you hit the gold standard, so well done. Revenue over the weekend is amazing.
All right, up next from number 6, we've got Talented Mums. Woohoo!
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Wendy Jeffrey and I'm from Talented Mums. We connect, upskill and empower women on their family adventure while navigating their future career. This is something that impacts Donna, myself and 300,000 women across Australia every year. So this is people you know, it's in your family, in your community. This is a real issue. What do we say is part of the problem? There's not a lot of support, there's a lot of anxiety around being a mum. There's disconnect. You're not part of your old business, your team, you're on your own. There's disempowerment. So while you're away, someone else is doing your job, and then you come back and you don't even recognise it anymore. Your life goals change. So what you thought was going to be the case somehow doesn't exist anymore. And it's very isolating. So what we were overwhelmed with is we put posts out and asked women out there, how did you find this issue? And we got 1,000 people responding, and we talked to 20 of them, and the stories were absolutely heartbreaking. Women have gone off to have babies, they come back and everything changes. So that's where we thought, we have to solve this. This is just some of the things we heard. So what's out there? So there are solutions, but they're very lightweight. It's a community. There's podcasts, there's information, there's resources, but nothing gets down to the granular plan level for mums. So, and they're very much single operators. Often they're on maternity leave themselves. They thought it's a nice side hustle, but it doesn't have the depth that we're planning to go to. So we plan to make money by a freemium option, so lots of resources, but then you can pay either for individualised training or services or coaching, or it'll pay a subscription. But then on the other side, we can make money from people offering courses and other services to our community. So that will be a commission-based, and we actually have customers who said they're willing to pay everything from $50 an hour, and I'll leave it to, we actually have generated some interest tonight, so I'll leave you in suspense for now as to how we've gone. So this is what we want to bring to the market. So we want to allow mums to have a plan that's generated just for them. So this will be via, they go through our app, and so that we know where they're up to. So before they even go on maternity leave, how can we help? Please vote for us.
Any of them? Questions, Chloe? Joe? No questions?
Excellent. Yeah, huge problem, absolutely huge problem. I'd love to hear a little bit more around your MVP and if there's one particular hero use case. And you mentioned a few opportunities to generate revenue, including like more of an affiliate model. That's really interesting, kind of connecting mums to trusted providers to help them on their journey. But yeah, can you tell me a hero use case that why do you think the first mums will sign up for this?
So in the last half an hour, while everybody else was getting ready to pitch, we actually started speaking to the audience. And there's at least 3 mums here, either looking to adjust their career, or I won't out anyone, but like change. They've realised that the job that they had before is not fit for what they want from family life, and that was the same to the people that we spoke in interviews and some of the survey responses, and they needed help to figure out what does that change look like and how do they get there, something actionable. They really want to have something that if they're going to pay, it needs to give them an outcome. And one person even said they would pay up to like $5,000 a year in order to do that.
Quick one. So you talked a lot about the demand. I think it's very compelling. So what about the supply side? Like, did you manage to talk to coaches and stuff?
Yes. Do you want to talk about that? Yeah. So we actually have some coaches, and one of the people that decided they wanted to change their career also changed to be a counsellor. So yes, and we also have some people in our team who are course providers. So they would be happy to pay referral fees and percentages as long as it's a reasonable amount. And it depends on the size of the amount that they charge. So some courses are like $500, so you wouldn't want to charge them $500. A percentage makes sense. Some things are like $3,000, $4,000, and then we can actually have the same percent, but take more finance from them.
Well done. All right, we've got BitHub. Do you want me to do the clicking?
Yeah, sure. As the clicker doesn't work.
It's slower.
No worries. He just gave away my joke. But, once upon a time, at Spacecubed, a developer and a comedian made sweet, sweet love in the vault, and BitHub was born. So I'm Dylan, I'm from Team BitHub. My team will join me at the end. Do you want to click through? So our 3 customers we focused on. So we focused on the comedic ecosystem in Perth. I'm an early stage comedian, so I just got into stand-up. We focused on local comedians. We then focused on room runners and bookies, so people that run live stand-up comedy shows. And also venues and hosts, so physical locations. Next, please, Nate. So the problems we are solving, so first and foremost for comedians, and this is through my own lived experience, so we validated a lot of this problem through how I've struggled to do stand-up comedy in Perth, and I'm good at it, I promise. You're going to come to my shows by the end. So getting booked for gigs is really hard. It can take up to months, so we want to reduce that down to days. Developing and improving your material, so anyone can get into stand-up comedy if you think you're funny, but then getting up and proving that in front of a live audience is the next step. There's a lot of time spent, so saving time, increasing your brand and reach, and making money eventually is a long-term goal. Sorry, it's still there, Nate. For room runners, their problem is booking good comedians and reducing the time spent. For venues and hosts, they want to put on comedy shows but don't really know where to start. Just here as well, we did some research in Leaderville last night with some local comedians, more validation. Next. Our solution, so you can pull out your phones and open this, www.bithub.lol. We built a website and mobile platform to solve these problems. Next, please, Nate. So just a bit of what this looks like here. So the homepage, yeah, you can read through that. I've got my own profile on here with my next 3 upcoming sets. And also some stuff here on some bits I'm working on, aeroplane food, am I right? Things like that. So have a look there and let us know what you think. Next. Cool, so the market potential. So there's a really great community called the Perth Comedy Collective through Facebook, 1,100 plus comedians and people who run rooms. There's a great spreadsheet, open source content, but there's a lot of emails sent, there's lots of DMs, you're connecting with people on Instagram and Facebook. So that's our target market, is to sort of leverage these communities without polarising them. There's estimated about 600 active comedians in Perth, but it's a very fragmented, clunky user experience. Next, please. Competition, Grassroots Comedy Collective, Comedy Lounge. There's also an international startup called Open Comedy. Next, please, Nate. Our business model, so it's going to be like a SaaS product, monthly subscription. We really want to leverage freemium, so get comedians on there, drive the uptake in the Perth community. That's how we're going to penetrate the market before we scale nationally and globally, as well as a larger subscription for venues and hosts. Cool. And just, if my team can come up and join me. There's a QR code as well you can scan to jump on the website.
It's always good to see Andy Lamb's son doing well. He'd be so proud. Dylan, brilliant. I've always thought stand-up and pitching is so similar. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, microphone, live or die, you know, in the next 2 or 3 minutes. It's either going to work or it isn't. So I've seen the crossover. And we've got to get some comedy into West Tech Fest. You've got to have some stand-up in West Tech Fest, right?
Yeah,
More of a, yeah, so great. Congratulations. Well done, team, over the weekend, building an actual functioning website. Any sales? Any closeness to sales? Or how close did you get?
Yeah, I think we did our kind of validation night going to a comedy gig in Leaderville last night, but we were still kind of honing in on what it is that we wanted to build at that point. I think we've spent a lot of time just kind of figuring out, okay, we want to do something with communities, we're going to narrow down to something that's relevant to one of the group members, and then we've kind of ended up at this. So we haven't really had that time. We have talked to a lot of comedians about their work process and kind of the common pitfalls they have, and just how they struggle to find gigs and network, and so it's just aimed to solve those problems. Yeah.
So you made a statement that venues want to put more events, right? Is that validated? That venues actually want to put more comedy shows on?
I can say that, yeah, given I said it. Yeah, I think that's probably through my own experience. So yeah, that's an assumption that we didn't test over the weekend. But I think, like, who here's been to a comedy show? Hands up. Like, who's paid to watch comedy in Perth? Like, people want to go to more comedy. I know people that live, like, we're a sprawled out city. One of the features that we built in on BitHub is like a geo tool for where you can see where all the comedy shows are and you can filter by date and stuff. There could be way more comedy out in the burbs, like local pubs. Post-COVID as well would be a great way to activate venues. So yeah, it's an assumption that we didn't test, but I'm pretty confident that, you know, venues through BitHub would want to activate and put on shows.
All right, great job. We got Tracia. Is it? Tracia? Trace? Tracer. It's spelled like... Sam, are you talking? Who's talking?
I'm driving them right. You need for live stream.
Where's the timer? Packages get delivered late all the time. It happens. It's life, right? That's fine. Like, I can deal with it. COVID, kids can't get dressed, whatever it is. But, like, it would be really good in some circumstances if I actually knew when exactly that they were going to be delivered, or whether there was a likelihood that they were actually going to be delivered for the thing that I needed to do next, for my life. It would be great. Have you ever stolen a parcel? He is part of the 20% of parcels that actually get stolen in Australia every year. Last year, $8 billion was the actual size of the market of stolen packages. We spoke to individual customers, people who like to order things online. We spoke to businesses, Keep Space. We spoke to businesses who ship big things like machines. Everybody has said it would be great to actually know where the package was at any given time. That's actually kind of like gold-plated standard. What currently happens? We've got Australia Post, we've got DHL, like, you know the usual carriers. What do? Let's scan it. Bit of a scanny scan. They might know what happens to it then, but do you? No, like I paid extra for the tracking, but then it says it was last scanned 3 days ago. It's still in Sydney. How can it still be in Sydney? It was, I've got my presentation on Monday. I've got the books that I need to deliver. Cortisol level, right? Anyway. But you can't use the air tags because it's a different system. What have we got? Solution-based oriented product. The shippers and the vendors chuck these things into the actual packages, and we, customers, have an app. We've got this. We know exactly where my package is. Where is it? Show me. I need to know. And how do I actually make sure that I purchase this? How much would you pay for the absolute certainty? For when it matters, not for every single purchase. $24.50 is all it would take for you to get your package and know exactly where it was at any given time. When you're shipping an $18,000 mountain bike, you might want to know where it is. When you're shipping your wedding dress, you kind of need to know that it arrives on time. So, Tracer has the solution for your problems. $24.50. We are profitable very quickly because the technology that it uses is eSIM. It's not new technology, but it is different in terms of the usage that we have for it.
Who's got the question?
We can answer the questions.
One, no more questions? Do you have one? We're losing them. Okay.
Let's do it. All right. Firstly, I think you need to work with BitHub. There's a few referrals around here. I think, yeah. And BitHub needs to work with Club. So I'll make those two comments. I'd love to learn a little bit more about your validation over this weekend and how you de-risk this idea.
You ready to go?
I'll go if you want.
All right. We validated very strongly, like to begin with. We called up Keep Space, who is our known startup club. He actually mentioned that he would pay for this service. He delivers 700 packages a day. He said we'd probably, with implementing this technology, we'd get about 10% of that. And he said, actually, you know, if this shit actually works, it's got legs. So we're like, well, that's a clear validation.
And nobody that we spoke to said that they wouldn't want to at some point
pay a little extra for that certainty as well. We didn't have a single person who said, I'd never use it. Everyone said at least sometimes they'd want something like this. And yeah, Jesse.
We also have a letter of intent from an earth-moving entity called IEES, and they have agreed that they would purchase the premium package to track all of their large earth-moving equipment, because timeframes, penalties are very important to their bottom line.
All right, well done. Round of applause. All right, we got 2 left. How you feeling? Legs going dead, need a shake? You're good? All right, we got Melting Pot up as our second last. Please welcome Spyro.
Thank you. So hello everyone, I'm Spiro from Melting Pot. We are the one-stop shop for immigrants. Imagine 2.5 years ago, I came here to Australia as an immigrant migrating from Lebanon. I had to find a house, I had to find a job, I had to find insurance, and all the different stuff that immigrants had to go through. And it was very painful. And we validated that by 40 customer interview and surveys as well. So we are creating the Melting Pot, the one-stop solution where we will be able to get credible source information on our website, as well as a body powered by AI, where the migrants can come on our website and get the information that they need. In terms of the market size, first starting with the immigrants, we have 7.5 million immigrants in Australia and 200,000 coming every year, which are the people that are gonna drive the traffic on our website. And now in terms of the paying customer, which are the immigration lawyer, career coaches, and all the others as well. Now, we initially thought that the Australian government, Facebook, and Google would be our competitors. But it turns out that they are not our competitors, because the main pain point of these immigrants is that the knowledge is scattered everywhere. On Google, you have 50 million websites that you don't know which information is right. The same with the Facebook groups. Now, with the agents, they might be considered as competitors, yes, of course, but we are considering them, and we will be partnering them as a channel to get more immigrants, more paying professionals on our website. So in terms of the business model, we have 2 different options. The first option would be the free, where the professionals will be posting articles and news about immigration and housing and all the other stuff. And there will be the payment option, they will also be posting some content, as well as they will be featured on our website and featuring their services as well. In terms of the traction, yes, we already got the first paying customer, which is other than the paying customer, we already got a +6 confirmed professional already on our website as well. In terms of the demo, this is, you can get the link there. And then so the way it's gonna look like, it's gonna be like a resource page where different topics, the immigrants can go there, find a credible source certified by the professionals, as well as a chatbot that will help them an easy guide to any resources that they want. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Can you just describe a bit more about these 6 professionals you talked to? Like, are they agents, or who were they, and what did they say?
Yeah. Even Joseph also spoke to a few of the consultants. There is Joe. Yeah, you can. That's fine. So I want, like, he covered few I covered, so I want both the sides to be covered. Yep.
Very briefly, please. Hello. Oh, okay. So the agents we spoke to mainly were on the immigration lawyers, and real estate agents. We spoke to as well as career coaches, whom were interested to try and help the immigrants get the right career for them, not really focusing on unskilled labor. So.
So they said, we also understand that people come with a lot of information to us, so it's hard for us as well when they don't know the basics. Like it's us, like coaching from our end as well. For example, a career coach, they would say they don't have confidence, their CVs are full of a lot of technical jargons or degrees which no one cares about, And if you talk about immigration agents, they've also had the same problem that, people come here, obviously there are certain things that we can teach, but there are a lot of things that we can't teach. So they need to have a platform where they need to go and understand all these things.
I'll do a quick comment and send to you. Basically just a massive problem space, really important. Migrants, immigrants is such an important part of the economy, and I think unlocking people's potential faster is just, I'm really passionate about that. So thank you for tackling it.
Quick question, quick answer. Your one sale, is that someone you already knew, or is that someone completely random?
So immigration agent that I used for my immigration, so I pitched them and told them there are literally 50 immigrants where I'm pitching this idea and you will be featured, the only one. So he said, that's fine, and I will put it on the website as well, like you as the featured one. So he put his article and his name everywhere on the website if you go. So that's what I've told him. Yeah.
All right, lucky last. All right, banana split. I like the names this year. There's been some really good ones.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Martinich and we are Banana Split. The problem, you've gone out for dinner with friends and someone's got to pick up the bill. It's a group bill, you've paid for it. And then you've got to follow up someone and say, hey, have you paid yet? We've all got that one friend in our group who's a late payer that you've just got to chase them again and again and again. On top of that, you need to reconcile which payments are coming in and which group bill are you splitting from. And then there's the social awkwardness of having to ask people about money matters. The solution. Our app auto-reconciles bill splits using the recently made available open banking APIs and using the click send solution to send SMSs to remind payees of outstanding amounts and remove that awkward friction point. We charge a 1.25% transaction cost on each bill, and this is accrued up to a set limit and then direct debited from your bank account or credit card. So our prototype solution. You can split at the time when you're at the point of sale machine or at any point in the future. And you can do this easily and quickly. This allows you to track multiple bill splits, easing the difficulty of reconciling costs. And this is something we've been able to achieve using the UpBanks API over this weekend. In terms of validation, we have spoken to 20 plus users and identified that our target market are groups who are doing a large transaction value. Predominantly, they're going to hospitality venues, but not exclusively. In terms of the market potential and competition, in 2021, the market was worth $500 million and has a 7% compound annual growth rate, meaning by 2031, this market is worth $993 million. In terms of our competitors, there are Splitwise, KittyPay and Beam. Absolutely none of these use the open banking API to auto-reconcile bill splits. And SplitPay, which is the most well-known of these, has been losing users due to running 10-second ads to use their application. Who are we and who is our team? We have 2 full-stack developers, 2 business development staff, and 1 product designer. We have the skills to deliver. We also have a QR code available where you can access our deployed prototype. And so to our judges, Joe, Charlie, Ophelia and Poe, we're looking for your support. Vote 1 Banana Split. Thank you.
Are you in sales? Do you think he might be the business development guy? Yeah. All right, have we got a question from our lovely judges, the last ones? No, it's all good. Yeah.
I'd like, if you wouldn't mind, just running me through, because it's Sunday night, just run me through the user experience again, exactly, because it's obviously I've paid the bill, so exactly what do I do to get money from these guys?
So I can talk to that one. So essentially, you've just gone and paid using your phone. You've tapped on the service terminal. There's a little pop-up that appears immediately. It says, do you want to split this bill? Lingers for about 10 seconds. Click it. You get taken to a screen. We can even see that in the app, the actual screen, and you just add your splits. You'll start evenly breaking that down into who owes what. Once you confirm that, it will then get sent out via your chosen method. So it can be via text, it can be via, it can be exactly via ClickSend if you want to use a text, or it could be via WhatsApp if you prefer that method. And then as soon as they will respond to that link and they've confirmed that payment, it'll be reconciled through the application. So there's no kind of additional work required by you past that initial little experience.
Just from a business model perspective, so you said, I think it was 60 cents per transaction. Have you estimated like the size of the market and like the revenue you could generate from it?
So in terms of the business model, one of the things we validated is for lower, let's say, transaction values, people were a bit nonplussed about it. So instead of going for a fixed fee, we went for a percentage cost that obviously scales. For us, in terms of the fixed price of the cost of goods sold, it's about $250 a year for the first 10,000 users. So a very low sort of infrastructure cost to get it off the ground. And on top of that, there's only one component of that will scale upwards with more users.
Yeah, one more. No worries.
So did you explore the tech feasibility of being able to intercept a NFC payment on an Android or iPhone to be able to bring up that pop-up?
Thanks to the banking API, they have webhooks in place for, instead of having to intercept the payment, we can intercept the transaction coming into the bank account. And so, yeah.
Big round of applause for our last team. All right, are we impressed? Had a bit of laughter, a bit of fun, some tech fails, some pivots. It had everything. All right, so we're going to go into the judging room for about 10 minutes, and then you're welcome to grab yourself a drink, go out and get some fresh air, but be back here in about 10 minutes so we can announce the winners. All right, let's do it. All right, are we ready? Right. Cool. So well done to all of our teams, all of our pitches. It was a very tough deliberation, but we've managed to find our ClickSend winner and our 3 Startup Weekend winners. So just a reminder for the prizes. So our first place is free entry into the +8 pre-accelerator program. We've also got some bar vouchers as well as co-working space here at RIF for all 3 winners. And then we also have an amazing prize from ClickSend. Charles is going to come up in a moment. ClickSend's going to be able to provide, hard and soft tacos and drinks. Your preference. I think I might tag along to that one. That sounds pretty good. All right, so we're going to go ClickSend. We're going to go third place, second place, and then we'll finish on first place. I'll come back and close us out for the night, and then we can do a bit more mingling and networking and have a bit of celebration. So please welcome Charles from ClickSend.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Look, I know it's been a long night of listening to people talk, and so I will try and keep this as short and sweet as I possibly can. But before I do so, I'd just like to say, can we give a massive round of applause to our organisers and all of the members of staff? Done an amazing job. Well done. And I'd also like to say just one more big round of applause for all of the people who got up and pitched and put the last 3 days worth of effort in. I think we can all get great ideas over the last couple of days. Now, as I say, for those of you who don't know, ClickSend is a Perth-based organisation. We're a global messaging organisation. Specifically, I think we're a messaging API. We send out billions of messages a year, specifically SMS messages via our API, so you can use it to automate and do a lot of things. It's used for both marketing as well as transactional messaging. And what we did is we put a challenge forth that says anyone who can find a valid business use for our software in their ideas this weekend, we will give them, not only tacos, not only drinks, but also $1,000 of credit, which is equivalent to about 15,000 messages. And it actually was not an easy decision to come to at the end. A few people came up with some really interesting ideas, but the one that we've chosen, we felt had a lot of personality in their pitch. They were very interesting. They called on their personal experience, and there was a lot of business viability in it. And so I would like to announce the winners of the ClickSend prize as Club. Can I get someone to come up and collect a certificate from Club? There he is. Yeah, come on. All right, let's just get the whole team from Club up. We've got, 8 seconds for this, right? Good.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hang on, I'm holding too many things. Well done. Here we go. I'm going to give you this.
All right, amazing.
Okay. And I'm sure someone will take a photograph. There we go.
So good.
Okay, 5 minutes of fame done. Let's all go. Well done, everyone. Well done, Club.
Okay, third place. Third place is good. Third place is good. You can walk away going, third place. It's all right. It's not nothing. It's third place. And you get $200 or something and 3 months of Spacecubed and yeah, cool. So, this team really impressed me. That's why I'm talking about them. They're actually my favourite, but they came third. Third's good. Nothing wrong with third. Third's good. They really understood their area. They developed a product. They had revenue. They pitched really well. They started with 7 people, lost 4, and ended up with 3. They got something from 10 hours down to 1 hour. It's Code Switch. Yeah, come on. Well done. Where's your other? You're down to 2 now? You're down to Ali, Saxon, and Gia. Come on, Gia. Up you come, Gia. Applause for Gia. Come on. Woo! Gia. Well done, guys.
Good job.
Second place.
Great. So second place. So I'm an engineer. So this was my first choice compared to Charlie's first choice. It was pretty heated in there. But yes, so we looked at 3 fields, 3 areas: validation, execution, and business case. Right. So I really felt like this team did really well in all 3 areas. In the problem space, the problem really resonated with me. I think it's something that most of us would have experienced. I don't want to give that too much here. In terms of the prototype and execution, they delivered something that I thought was, that was hands-on, and I could see that they had actually, solved the problem to some extent, and really convinced me on that. And then with the business case, I could see it was a unique problem. They looked at the competitors, and I thought that they could really generate income from this, right? So for second place, and my favourite, but second place tonight, which is also a good result, banana split. Wait, was it banana split? Okay.
Get the photo. Thanks, mate.
Excellent. All right, here we go. What a great evening. This has been so, I love all the energy. Thank you so much. And it was really hard for us to make these decisions, as you can see. There was many favourites, but I think the one that is the winner, the one I'm going to announce right now, what I loved about this team is their idea came from really deep customer insight. This team really understood their users, their customers, and I think for me, that's what you can build anything from, right? If you're talking to your customers, they will take you where you need to go. So that was absolutely fantastic. They had a prototype, and they were clearly really plugged in to a community and really got that community. And on another note, I must admit tonight, one thing I didn't expect was how hilarious a lot of these pitches would be. They've been so good. There's a lot of comedic talent in Perth, it seems. So I would love to announce the winner, BitHub.
He's still laughing.
So we did start the weekend saying it's not about winning, and if you didn't place tonight, hopefully you're not feeling too defeated, but I really hope you've walked away this weekend with ultimately some new skills, hopefully some new friends, and really an appetite for this idea of innovation, entrepreneurship, and solving really complex problems in a rapid way. I'd also like to thank our team, who I didn't thank at the beginning. So Brittany, give us a wave at the back, Shizzle. Thanks, Brittany. Juliet, the French wonder. And thank you all to you for participating, for signing up and for leaning into the experience. So if you're interested in continuing your entrepreneurship journey, there's lots and lots of avenues. I've got musical background, love it. That's all right. So there's lots of different things happening in the Perth ecosystem. So if you're interested, Morning Startup is a great way. Yep, I'll plug Startup WA, don't worry. Morning Startup is a great way. It runs every second Wednesday morning about 7 o'clock in here. Really great opportunity if you work remotely or if you live outside of Perth. They also live stream it thanks to Jetsy. We have Startup WA every month. Oh, that's right. The Founder Sundays every second week. So there's every second Wednesday there's something cool happening. We also have Startup WA, who's our peak body for startups, championing the cause of startups here in Western Australia. Thank you to City of Perth, who support a number of programs in Perth, as well as including our landing pad program. And plus there's a whole bunch of other meetups around specific technologies or specific areas of interest as well, so cyber, virtual reality, XR, etc. So please get involved. We want to see this ecosystem grow. Hopefully today is an entry point to this idea of testing new ideas and starting an entrepreneurial journey. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week. This is the start of your week. Have a good rest tonight, potentially. Feel free to stay around for another hour or so for drinks and nibbles if there's any left. But thank you very much and see you all around. Thanks. You have to get the ammo catalogue.